That channel would probably be close to 1 million right now, but I taught the algorithm for the first 5 years of that channel. This is not a channel to pay attention to.
Howdy, folks. Brian Kusko here at Redline Report, and today we're going to sit down with my buddy Dav Kaufman, talk about all of his many channels, why he starts them, what his process is, just everything Dav Kaufman production, and what his plans are for future productions, things that you probably don't know that are coming up, and you get a little sneak peek into all the things, the movies that he's going to be putting out, like just a lot. We're going to discuss it all here. Dave's going to let us know. You're watching Redline Report.
All right, Brian, I called to you to have this interview because the people need to know a few things about you.
Okay.
So tell them.
Well, what is it? What are the things that they need to know?
If you don't know, I can't tell you.
That sounds ridiculous. Can you?
That sounded ridiculous. All right, are we recording? Are we doing this? Are we going?
No, we don't. We don't need to do that.
All right. Let me know when you're ready to do this.
I'm ready.
Okay. Let's go.
Hi, Dave.
Hi. How are you?
I think I might be getting a migraine.
Really?
I think I looked into some bright lights.
You mix beer and coffee and kaopectate together, headache gone.
I've never had kaopectate.
Well, the effects of that will distract you from your headache, and that's how it works.
What is your quest?
The Holy Grail. Are we doing this interview right now? Is this happening?
There's a story. There's a story that you have that you want to share with the world, one that you haven't shared yet.
Mm-hmm. What do I do? Camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, camera 4, or camera 5? Why do you have camera 6 down here?
Just that's part of the story that you need to tell people that they don't know about yet.
Well, if they don't know that story, then we aren't maybe as good of friends as...
Just because other people don't know the story means that we're not friends?
No. I don't think you know the story either.
Well, then tell me.
I don't know what story we're talking about.
You got dust on your section.
Yeah, well, I'm very dusty.
Are you flaking?
I am very flaky. All right, so let's start this interview.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
There's a story that people don't know about you, a story that you have, a wild story that nobody has heard before.
I need context. I need specifics. There are a lot of weird stories about me. Most of them are actually true.
What's the weirdest one?
Boy,
the truest.
The weirdest, most truest story about me probably would be that I can't stop creating YouTube channels.
Why do you think that is?
I am one of those people that if I conceive of an idea, I cannot let that idea die. I have to see it through. Otherwise, I am an abject failure, and nobody will remember me on my birthday.
So which of those ideas have you let fail to date?
None.
None?
None.
None?
None. Every single idea I've ever had
It's still going?
is still going. It's still ongoing.
And do you think that's sustainable?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's actually killing me very slowly.
So what are you going to do about that?
Get them done before I die. Yeah.
What does it look like for them to be done?
See, now that is the unanswerable question. Do I carry a project from conception to 100,000 subscribers, and then is it done? No. It's just they're perpetual ideas. Let me know when we're going to start this interview so I can...
I will.
Okay.
But first I want to know, like, how many channels do you think you could possibly handle at once?
So here's the thing. So you are going to start projects that aren't going to manifest into anything, and that you have no control over, right? So fishing channel, for instance. When I started that channel, it grew fast to begin with, as channels do. It's new, it's exciting, whatever. But there are certain things that when you come up with an idea, there's a lot of unknowns. In the fishing world, the unknown is that you actually have to catch fish in order to have a fishing channel.
Do you?
Catch fish?
Do you have to catch it? Because like, I feel like the act of fishing. I mean, yes, I agree. It would be much better for the video if you actually caught fish.
Right. Right.
But the act of fishing is still fishing, whether you catch them or not.
Well, this is true. So, I would go on a lot of fishing trips and catch itty bitty little fish, and I'm like, I'm not making a video out of that, right? But the fishing channel thus became a hobby channel, one that I may post when I get around to it, whatever. But reptiles, always gonna. I haven't missed a reptile upload on a Saturday since April of 2018. Every single Saturday from April to 2018 till now, in what is this, September 2032, I have uploaded a reptile video every single Saturday. Is it 2032?
Something like that. You might be a couple years early.
Anyway, whatever year this is. Yeah, so what it takes is consistency. And then in 2016, I started what is now Dave Kaufman's Adventures. And then I kind of started not uploading as often on that channel. And now I'm going to go back and upload a lot more now that I've taken that channel and kind of revamped how, I mean, it was supposed to be like a vlog channel. Like everything on my trips that happened that I didn't film, I started filming and doing these travel vlogs on that channel. But then I'm into so much stuff that, like, I have so many interests. So, like, I love ghost hunting, strange places, creepy places, all that sort of stuff. So I was going to start a brand new channel called Dave Kaufman's Strange Adventures. And at one time I actually took that vlog channel and converted it to Strange Adventures. And I was like, but I've got all these other interests like zoo tours and, you know, all this animal stuff that I love to do. So then I was like, all right, well, just change it to Dave Kaufman's Adventures and throw all that up there. And that channel is actually doing good. Every time I upload a video, those videos do well. But I do want to do a lot more ghost stuff and ghost hunting and all that sort of stuff, because that stuff greatly interests me. And all the, the strange places around the world. I don't know if you knew this, but this world has a lot of strange places.
Yeah.
A lot of strange places.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to go explore them. So I'm going to, beef up that channel. Then I started the food channel. And the reason I started the food channel was because when I go to these places around the world, I like to experience like the local food. What are the locals eating here? Like if I see a Chili's or a Red Lobster or any other corporate feed bag, I will avoid it like the plague, just like I do in this country. And I want like the authentic experience of what everybody is eating. And then it just took me a couple of years to realize, why aren't you filming this? So I did. And a year ago, I started Dave Kaufman Eats the World. And that channel has...
Which is a great name, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That channel has exploded in the past year. So reptiles in the first year, I didn't know what I was doing. I was still in college when I started that channel. And it was just kind of, here's some footage. Let's put it up on YouTube. Had no clue how YouTube worked. Not like I do now. But if I would have been more consistent with the Reptile Adventures, which was then called Herpers TV, if I would have done weekly uploads, which I didn't know that you had to do to grow a channel. It was like monthly uploads in the first few years while I was, going back and getting my history degree. That channel would probably be close to 1 million right now. But I taught the algorithm for the first 5 years of that channel, this is not a channel to pay attention to, because I was uploading so infrequently on it for the first 5 years of it. Then in 2018, when I converted Herpers TV to Dave Kaufman's Reptile Adventures and said, you are never going to miss a Saturday upload, and got really serious about it, that's when it started to kind of skyrocket. But still, for the first 5 years, I taught that algorithm, don't pay attention to this channel. And if I would have taken that channel and created a brand new channel in 2018, I would have much more subscribers on Dave Kaufman's Reptile Adventures than I do now. But I chose to rebrand. So it went from like under 20,000 views, or under 20,000 subscribers rather, in 2018 to I just hit 172,000 yesterday.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, it grew, but again, if I knew what I was doing in the beginning, it would have been a lot better. And so I took that knowledge that I had and am applying it to the new channels. So, like Dave Kaufman Eats the World grew to 7,000 subscribers in the first year and almost 500,000 views in the first year, which is
Pretty decent.
it's pretty decent for a YouTube channel, and I'm quite proud of that. So what I did was
Especially starting it last year. It's like at that point, starting a YouTube channel in 2018 versus last year, there's so many more channels.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. But YouTube really constantly changes what they do to keep up. And it's not like, so anything that happened in 2018, 2020, 2021, whatever, does not apply today. So if you want to start a YouTube channel today, you can. And it's not like you missed the boat, because what worked back then does not work now. What works now is not going to be working in 5 years. So you have to, as a creator, change what you're doing, based on what YouTube is changing. So there's that. So I went back to Dave Kaufman's adventures. I went back to Dave Kaufman's reptile adventures. I went back to Dave Kaufman's fishing adventures. Saw where those channels were at the first birthday, at the first year mark of the launch of the channel, and reptiles was like at just over 3,000 subscribers in the first year. The vlog channel, Dave Kaufman's Adventures now, back then it was just called Dave Kaufman, was like not even at monetization yet. And monetization, for those who don't know, is you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time in order to achieve monetization on YouTube. That channel didn't even achieve that in the first year. But back in 2016, there wasn't that rule. You could just start a channel and get paid off your first video. And then Dave Kaufman's Fishing Adventures was like at 2,000 subscribers in the first year. And I don't remember how many views those got. I have it written down somewhere. But with Dave Kaufman Eats the World, I thought maybe I would come close to 5,000 subscribers in the first year. I got over 7. And 500,000 views in the first year of a channel is really good. So what I did was I took everything I learned from the previous channels and all the mistakes that I made from the previous channels and applied them all to this brand new channel, and it worked. So by the end of this year, by the end of 2023, 2032, whatever year this is, by the end of the year, I've calculated the amount of subscribers that I'm getting, and I'll be at 10,000 by the end of the year. So I'm really, really proud of this channel, and I love doing it. And so, yeah, so if I conceive of an idea, my brain will just go nuts with it. Okay, so I can do this. So I can do this. Ooh, I can do this. And then all of a sudden, these ideas are so doable that I have to see it through. So I'm glad that I did that with the food channel. And the reason why I have so many channels, to be honest, is so that I don't burn out on one thing. Like, I have so many varied interests. I call it creative ADD. And when you do that, it's so easy to burn out really quickly. And especially, I don't think people realize kind of how difficult it is to film some of these reptile videos, because you are sleeping in, like, let's say I go down to the Amazon. Okay, well, you have extremely deadly spiders in your bed, even though you have the screen, the mosquito netting. The mosquitoes still get in there. The bugs still get in there. You're getting eaten alive all night long. And okay, so fine. If I go down there for a couple of days, I can withstand that. But going down there and spending a week and a half and every night not getting any sleep, what I have to do is I have to front load the trip with all my videos and then basically get B-roll at the end of the videos, because I'm so exhausted and I'm so bitten up and beat up that I don't want to be on camera at the last half of a trip. So it is extremely difficult to do it, and therefore the more difficult it is, the more burnout you may have. And so my passion for reptiles is so strong that when I do feel myself burning out, I can always find something to snap me back into it. And, thankfully, because the reptiles pay my mortgage. But just editing reptile videos after reptile videos after reptile videos, that burnout, quotient is there and it's strong. And so if I do find, okay, my God, I don't want to edit this video, I don't want to go to another reptile expo, I don't want to film another, okay, so fine, take a break from that, film and edit a food video. And then you do, and then film and edit a haunted house video or a ghost tour video or a zoo tour video or go fishing and do that. All of a sudden, I'm now excited about going back and doing the reptile videos. And so having all these channels really keeps me motivated. And a lot of people are like, well, you're just going to burn out. And it's like, no, this is how I keep from burning out.
Yeah, you do put in a lot of work.
A lot of work.
I like to, poke fun at you and stuff and whatnot, but I think you work pretty hard compared to a lot of people I said. You do a lot of work. Like, you're working constantly and a lot. And you're talking about like the editing. So my question is, why have you not hired an editor? Like, is there a reason that you don't?
There is a reason for that, and I have hired editors before. And there is, in the film world, you give birth to this idea. You write the script. You get the crew together. You film the script. Then you have all this footage. And then you give it to somebody else to create what you've already put together. And it's like, hey, I just had this baby. Here, now you raise this baby. There's that. I would love to hire an editor. And if there's any editors watching out there, hit me up, because I really do need that. But the editors that I have hired have delivered something not up to my level.
Right.
And I cannot do that to my viewers to say, hey, the quality of my work is going to go down so I can focus on other stuff. I have to maintain that quality that is something that I would personally watch. And if it's not going up on YouTube. And so I am having a lot of trouble finding an editor that can kind of have that level of quality that my videos have. The other side of the coin is that even though I have 4 channels, and even though the ad revenue from those channels is, paying all my bills and getting me out into the world, those and my sponsors, of course, I'm at that point where I'm way too big to be doing this alone, but I'm still not at a level to be hiring a crew. So I'm in that weird kind of transition-y area with all of my channels. And I'm sure that will change. But I love the editing process. I mean, that's where I get to see everything that I filmed and add the music, add the tone, add the heart, add everything to that video. The editing process is my favorite part of it. But yeah, I mean, it does back up. Like when I was in Suriname in March, I filmed this entire fishing movie, like a feature-length movie of survival fishing in the Amazon, where we went out into the wild with, the locals, and they taught how they fish not for sport, but for survival. And then I was out there fishing for sport, and all that footage I've never looked at because I just have not had time in the past 6 months to take a look at that. So if I had an editor that could at least do a rough cut, give it to me, and then I could polish it, I would love to have that. Because, a lot of stuff does take the back seat until I get around to doing it.
Yep. I feel that.
So,
I'm in the same boat with that stuff. That's why I wanted to know.
Yeah. But, one of the things that I'm going to be doing with Reptile Adventures is I am going to, this is an idea that I'm going to test. And if it works, then I'm going to run with it. And if it doesn't work, then I'm going to go back to what I've always done. But I want to do... One of the things that frustrates me is that 20 minutes is that sweet spot for videos, right? Anything smaller, the audience feels cheated. Or anything, 10-minute. Like a 10-minute video, I feel like my audience is going to get cheated out of a really solid video. But then you're trying to pack so much information into a 20-minute video, and you can't because a lot of it gets cut to hit that sweet spot. So what I'm going to attempt to do is do 4 feature-length reptile-related movies a year. And then kind of cut back on the weekly videos on that channel, and have those movies kind of carry the momentum of the channel through until I upload the next movie. And there will be weekly videos. I mean, I'm not going to quit it altogether. But like the boa movie, I just finished filming the boa movie when we went to Honduras. We went out to Hog Island to see if the Hog Island boa was in fact extinct in the wild. And so Quetzal Dwyer from Reptilandia and I went to Honduras, and we went out to the island, and we stayed on the island for a half a week. And within that time, we answered that question on if the boa is in fact extinct off that island. So that finished the boa movie. I'm going to try to get the boa movie. Clint from Clint's Reptiles and I have been talking. He's going to do a boa movie, but he's going to go through more scientifically, and he's going to focus on the taxonomy. So every snake in the world that we call boa, whether it be the bromeliad boas or the red-tailed boas or the rainbow boas or whatever, the insular boas, he is going to go down and do an entire movie based on the entire evolutionary family tree of boa. And so he and I have been talking, and we want to release our 2 boa movies, very different boa movies, together so that they complement each other instead of compete with each other. And so I've got to get this done, and I've got to get it done before the end of the year. And so I will. But whereas my boa movie is about talking about how, like, we're at this expo. There's boas here. How did those boas get here? What is the import and export process? What is the history of that? Are Colombian red-tailed boas actually from Colombia? Okay, so fine. Let's go to Colombia and find out what those boas actually look like in the wild. Let's go to Mexico and find out what, imperators look like in Mexico. And then the Suriname boa, one of the most beautiful, wild type base morphs of boas. Do those actually look like those boas that we know as Suriname boas in the wilds of Suriname? So that's what my boa movie is going to focus on. And then I'm going to do New Caledonia geckos, an entire movie based on the footage that I already shot in New Caledonia. But because of that 20-minute time frame, a lot of stuff didn't get put in those videos that we, kind of shot and found out and discovered on the island. So I'm going to put that together in an entire feature-length movie, with a couple of surprises that I deliberately cut out of those videos, and things that, people have no clue really happened on those islands. And you'll see that, that'll come out in March. February is going to see me go back to Australia, and I'm going to do a complete bearded dragon movie. So, a lot of people think, okay, we've got Rankins and we've got Centril, bearded dragons that we all, Centrillian, whatever you want to call them. But there are a ton of other bearded dragon species in Australia that we actually don't know about. A lot of bearded dragon people obviously know about them, but so we're going to tour across Australia, and I'm going to do the bearded dragon movie, and then Florida is being overrun by invasive and non-native species. I'm going to do a movie on that. Are these, let's say, Phelsuma that are found in South Florida, are they doing any damage? We obviously know that Burmese pythons are doing a lot of damage, but is the red-headed agama, is the iguana? So I'm going to do a movie that focuses on both sides of the invasive and non-native issue in South Florida. And then, like on my phone, when I fly, I very rarely watch TV or movies. I'm actually on my phone coming up with new ideas. So I've got movie ideas for that channel for the next couple of years that I'm going to be doing. And we'll see if it works. We'll see if that's the new thing. And then it cuts me back from doing 6 videos on reptile adventures a month, and that way I can focus more on the other interests and launch my 5th channel.
Dang, dude. Well, best of luck to you, Dave. I'll be watching, and I'll help where I can when you need it. Just ask.
All right, so comment below, everybody. What is going to be my 5th channel? Did I tell you what it is? I think I told you, didn't I?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did, but I'm never sure if I'm gonna take you serious or not. But then you just keep actually releasing the channel.
Oh no, you should never take me seriously. I will tell you this. I have a BA in history. That's your hint.
Yeah. Yes. I know.
Yeah.
Yes. Now I remember.
Yes.
It's all coming back to me.
Yes. Yes.
All right,
So, when are we starting this interview?
we'll do it. How about tomorrow? I'm getting kind of tired.
That's fine. That's fine. This is good practice for that interview.
Good practice.
Good practice. Good
Yeah,
practice.
you're
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Good job, Dave.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Love you, man.
Love you too, bro. Thanks, dude.
You're welcome.
Thank you guys for tuning in. There will be a link down in the description for all of Dave's channels. If you haven't checked out some of the ones, if you didn't know how many channels he actually had, you can go find them and see what's happening with all of his channels and keep up on all the plans that he's got coming out for the near future. Next week, of course, we will have another awesome guest right here on the Redline Report. And until then, y'all take care.
So I did a food video with a 103-year-old World War II vet that remembers everything. My cell phone, my GoPro, and my main camera. And that's all that I had it set up with. And then I look at your stuff and I was like, should have flown your ass up and set all this stuff up for that interview.
I'm sorry, Dave. That was a very long and annoying process. And I apologize for it.
Mucho annoydo.
Well, it's the camera's broken. It's like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah. All right. Are we recording everything, or was this not happening?
I did. Yeah. I was like, I don't. There's no reason to interrupt you if you're going. So.
Yeah. I'll go.